Hello, Bronco Nation, and welcome to another edition of the Bronco Country Roundup. And it's another recruiting edition because it's that time of season again. We're really excited to be able to have this opportunity to talk to these young men. All of them are making life-changing decisions, and they're 17 years old. I mean, that's crazy to be making such huge decisions, but we think they're making the right ones coming to Boise State. So, without further ado, this young man just committed to Boise State yesterday. I mean, how cool is it that he's willing to come down and talk to me today? He's a local kid, which makes me like him even more. I'm local myself, born and raised around here. We welcome in today Zeke Martinez, quarterback out of Meridian. Zeke, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, 24 hours after the big decision, you make it public. How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling great. I'm super excited about the decision. I have no doubts. I'm so glad just to be a Bronco and be a part of the family. It's going to be a fun ride.
And we list you at 6 foot, 205 pounds. Is that still about right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
You were a starter for, as far as I can tell, over 3 years at Meridian. Were you starting just straight as a freshman?
Yeah, so my older brother was actually the starting quarterback on varsity when I was a freshman, and he ended up getting hurt the very first game. So that's when I ended up getting pulled up, and I started for 4 games on varsity, and that kind of started my career. And so I started those 4 games, and then he got back from his injury and kind of took over again. So that's why it's kind of 3.5. But
3.5. All right.
yeah, 3.5. We'll call it
So
that.
3.5 years of high school experience as a starting quarterback. That's pretty impressive.
Hmm.
How do you think that all that experience will help you in your transition to the collegiate level?
I think it'll help a ton, especially just having so much experience. Every single year you grow more and more in certain areas. You kind of be able to tell, to read the defense better, know how the game goes and the speed of the game. And especially moving on to college, the game's going to be going a lot faster, a lot of better players everywhere. So it's going to be definitely a bigger step, obviously, than high school. But I think just the preparation that I had going through the years of playing multiple years as a starter, I think it'll help me just even more just get myself ready to go for college.
I'm going to go ahead and play some of your highlights here. But you're an athletic kid, as we're about to watch these highlights. Has it always been quarterback? Have you kind of moved around a little bit at all?
For the most part, I've always been quarterback, but actually, when I was younger, I always played receiver on my older brother's team since he was the quarterback. So I've kind of just grown that athletic ability since I was a kid, and I've always played quarterback on my age teams. But when I played up with my brother, I was always receiver. So I think that just developed the athletic ability, and I've kind of just ran with it ever since.
And what kind of attracted you to quarterback? Was it just because that was your skill set, or is that something that you really wanted?
Well, my dad just started us off as being quarterbacks ever since we was a little kid because playing quarterback you can kind of go into any other position, just knowing the game. Being quarterback, every position. And once I was a kid, I just always loved playing quarterback. My older brother did it, so I was just like, yeah, I'm a quarterback, and I've been quarterback since I was probably 5 years old. So.
And going kind of switching to your senior season, how did your senior season go?
I mean, yeah, it was definitely not the outcome I wanted, but I think it was definitely a good year of growth for me, especially in the leadership ability. I think just having a younger group of guys more. I didn't have a lot of senior heavy guys. It was more younger people that I could, engage in that leadership role and kind of lead them, even though we didn't have the perfect record or maybe have the most wins we wanted. It was still a great year just grow in the little areas and kind of become more of a athlete in general, not just a football player, but trying to lead the team and stepping up in that captain role. So I thought it was a great year. It's crazy that my high school season is over now. Stepping into college is going to be crazy, but I'm excited for it.
And this question's more not just about you, but just about Idaho high school football in general. It seems like the talent here in the Valley has really risen over the last couple of years. From starting as some games as a freshman to your senior season, how much have you seen that talent level improve in the Treasure Valley?
Yeah, I think the talent's growing each and every year. Like there's so many more college just recruits looking at us now right? Idaho a few years ago wasn't even really looked at as much, and people are now getting more attention, which I love it. There's so much talent around here that goes unnoticed, just because we're not a huge state. But I think there's so many people around the valley that can play at the next level, and it's cool just to start to see that people are getting recognized.
And I appreciate you explaining that, because I think so too. I think we've seen a lot of boom here in the Treasure Valley, and I think that's starting to show with the level of athletes that we're getting. What makes you a unique player? What did teams that look at you and say, I need that player on my team?
I think the biggest thing about me that I'm going to bring to any team, obviously that I'm going to take to Boise State, I think is just my work ethic and my leadership ability. Obviously, I'm not the tallest person out there or the most looking quarterback that you want, but I'm going to bring my work ethic to the team. I'm going to do as much as I can to lead the team and get as many wins as possible. Whatever I'm there to do, I'm going to do at 100%, and I'm ready to go wherever. And I'm just excited that I get a chance to go at Boise State. It's always been my dream ever since I was a kid. My dad played there, and just growing up watching the team play on the blue has always been a dream. So I'm just so blessed that God just put me here in this opportunity and has given me this position to play. It's so fun.
And we'll get to your dad here. I know that's coming up. But before we get there, where do you think you want to improve the most before you get to Boise State? And when will you get to Boise State? Are you coming in for the fall camp, or will you be there for the spring semester?
I will be there for the spring semester. So here in a few weeks, I'll be going there. So it's pretty quick. A lot of things are moving around right now, trying to figure out all the details. But as of now, I'm just trying to get all the things ready to go. Just move into the dorms. Just all that stuff is going to be a big change, but it's definitely something I'm looking forward to.
And hats off to you, because that means you graduated early, and I know that must have been very hard. You list yourself as a 4.0 GPA, which I think is great. That's amazing. How important is the academic side to you as well?
Oh, I think it's very important, right? I heard from someone say that's why they call it student athlete, not athlete student, right? Because I think that's the most important thing, right? Even though football is something you aim for and something you work for every single day, eventually it's going to come to an end, and your career is going to be a big thing in your life, and if you don't have that aspect of it, it's going to leave you lost. So that's why I took this year really seriously, knowing that I wanted to graduate early. Me and a couple of my friends took some summer classes, and it really worked out because now I was able to graduate early, and I can enroll to BSU early. But I'm excited that I get to be able to do that because it's a blessing to go in early and get on the roster.
And again, congratulations to you. That's an amazing accomplishment already before you even get to Boise State. When did Boise State first get into contact with you as far as college football recruiting wise?
I would say it picked up the most after this summer camp that I went to my senior year, because I had been going to their camps ever since freshman year. But I think it really picked up this year when I was able to do like a private training with the QB coach, and trying to get to know the coaches more and more. So ever since around probably I think June or July, that's when it really picked up the most, I'd say.
And just to kind of go over your recruitment overall, what other offers did you have? What all offers did you have?
Yeah, so I had an offer from Memphis University and then Nebraska Kearney. And then those are my only offers. Obviously, there was other interests, but those are my offers, yeah.
And that leads into my next point. You're coming in as a preferred walk-on, which is pretty amazing to me that you would take this opportunity as a walk-on where you could earn a scholarship someday, absolutely. But take that over taking a full ride scholarship to a very talented and respected school like Memphis. What went into that thinking and that thought process?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it was a lot of time of just praying and asking where I should go, and a lot of talk with the family. But I think just the whole culture here at Boise State has always been something that pulls me towards them, right? I mean, pretty much all the coaches, a lot of the players go to my church, and that's one of the biggest things where I get to see not only when I go to BSU grow in the football area, but just growing closer to the Lord as a team. I think that's one of the most important things in my life, that I get to serve the Lord and play football. That just seems so attractive to me. And not that Memphis' coaches weren't bad or anything like that, but it was attractive over there too. But I just felt like God called me to BSU for a purpose, and I just took it and ran with it.
Yeah, by all means, I think most people respect Memphis a lot, and quite frankly, I'm hoping you'll be playing them in the Pac-12 here in a couple of years. But
Yeah.
that's a separate conversation. So let's get to your pops. Let's get to your dad. He played at Boise State, right?
Yes, sir.
What's his name? What position did he play? And what years, if you remember, what years he played?
Yeah, so his name's Zeke Martinez, and he played linebacker, and he went to Centennial High School. So he was local as well. But I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking either like 95 or 96 is when he was there.
Okay.
Around there, I
Yeah.
don't know for sure. But yeah, he played linebacker. So, eventually when he was done with his college career, he just did tons of like city leagues, and he ended up playing quarterback in the city leagues just because he was an athlete. So that's why he kind of had us be quarterbacks, because a quarterback, you can do so much with it. So that's why we ended up being quarterback, actually.
And how much did your father kind of maybe point you in the direction of Boise State, or was he pretty hands off with that?
I mean, it definitely was my decision, but he was fully in support of me. He's been there since day one. He's always been pushing me, so I respect his decision fully, and that's why I said it was a lot of time of just seeing where I was going to go, and he was definitely a big part of that decision. Just knowing that I can pursue the school that he went to, I think that's really cool, and I'm just glad that he's my dad. He's been such a good role model for me. Just leading me in the football areas, just started me when I was young, just to get into the game of football. So it's been awesome to have him, but it was a good decision, I think, and he's fully with me too.
And what coaches have you connected with most on the staff? Obviously, there's been quite a bit of turnover, even recently. Which coaches do you think you've connected with the best?
Yeah, I think over the summer a lot was mostly Coach Cooper. I talked to him pretty often, and then I'd say Coach Danielson was probably second. I talk with him a lot, just over text and over the phone, because I see him probably the most at church. He's the one that I always see there, so it's cool to talk with him every Sunday. And then now I've been growing my relationship with Coach Miller and Coach Potter and Coach Jones as well. So I think I'm starting to get all the coaches' relationships better, but I would say I had the most relationship with Cooper. So it's tough to see that he left.
That was a bummer.
Yeah.
Just a couple of days ago, Coach Nate Potter named the offensive coordinator going forward, and you said you've started to build a relationship with him. What do you take away from your early interactions with Nate Potter?
Yeah, I love Coach Potter. Every year, like I said earlier, I went to all the BSU camps, and I always got to talk with him. He's just a great guy. He's always someone you want to be around, and I think it was my sophomore year, maybe my junior year, but he came to one of my high school practices and was able to watch my practice. And he's kind of been a guy that I've talked to even before he got this huge job. So it's kind of cool and exciting to see that he's going to be the OC, and I'm excited to work with him. It's going to be fun.
And you're coming in as a walk-on freshman. You are coming in early with that. That's awesome. That's going to help out a lot. What are your goals for your true freshman season?
I mean, definitely my goals are just to be a leader on the team. Even though I might be the youngest guy, I'm trying to be a leader, even if not, obviously not going to be in that starting spot right away, even though I'm going to try my hardest and work towards that every single day, right? I'm going to try to grow in every single area, and I'm going to work for that spot. But obviously it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of timing, and I got to focus on getting the playbook down, just getting those relationships with the teammates, and just being the guy that can help them. Obviously, they're doing such a great job over there. Just had a great season, and I'm just excited to be a part of it, and just be in help wherever they need. So it's gonna be exciting to see.
And just to step aside while I have the opportunity to bring him up, you have a teammate. I believe I'm going to say his name, hopefully correct, LeGary Mitchell.
Yes, sir. Yep.
He's committed to Boise State. Talk about what Boise State fans are going to see in LeGary.
Oh yeah, they're gonna see a dog for sure. Yeah, the crazy thing is actually this summer camp when we went to the BSU camp, that's when I really saw him the most because usually, in season once the offense is done with their drive, we go and watch the film on the TV. So we don't really get to watch the defense as much. But at the camp, I got to see him a lot, and he's a dog. I mean, he's gonna go get it wherever he's at. He's gonna fly to the ball, and I'm excited that he's gonna be my teammate again. So next year, he's gonna be a dog for sure.
And hopefully, I'm sitting here talking to him about this time sometime next year.
Yep.
Coach Danielson, he is just an unbelievable person, and really makes you want to just, run through a brick wall is what you hear all the time.
Yeah.
What really stands out about him that made you think of this walk-on position over a scholarship, and what does he do that made you that was important in that decision?
Yeah, just his whole character in general. Just how he carries himself. I think he's such a leader, and he's got such a just favor of the Lord over him. That's why, like I said earlier, I mean, I see him at our church. He's spoken there before, and just how much of a leader he is, and how much he has that ability to just teach people and lead them in the right way. I think it's such an amazing thing that he's doing, and how he's leading people and leading them to the right way. I think I just want to be a part of that, and I know that he's going to lead me as much as I can. He's going to encourage me and be there for me. I see him on just Instagram videos of him just encouraging his teammates, even though he's the head coach. He's there everywhere, being that guy that you always want to be around. So I think it's just a blessing that he's going to be my coach. I'm so excited that he's going to be there at my practice every single day. I'm going to be able to just be friends with him and just see that I'm going to be able to grow as a Christian and an athlete as well. So that's going to be a huge up for me.
And we in the media have made up a little a saying that Coach D has a lot of Danielson-isms, or a lot of sayings that you might hear once, twice, or 10 times during an interview. Sounds like you've been around him a fair amount. Do you have a favorite Danielson-ism?
I think the best one is when he just starts off saying, "Thank you, Jesus." I mean, I think it's so awesome how he starts off pretty much every interview with that, because he's not afraid to proclaim the gospel. I think that's so awesome to see, like, having that as your head coach. I think it's going to be able to just encourage so many people to be more bold in their faith, and that's something I always see about him. He's always doing it wherever he's at, so that's why I think it's so cool that I'm going to be able to be a part of that.
And just one final question. I appreciate you coming in today, day after your big decision. I can't thank you enough for sitting down with me. Built different is something you hear a lot from the Boise State football program. What does built different mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, just over the summer, they would be sending me videos of the built different, the long videos that they would make during the summer. And I just think it's just a daily reminder that we are built different here in Idaho, especially just how we can kind of get overlooked, right? Even the BSU was doing great this season. There were still so many people just overlooking them. I think it just shows how everything we get here, we have to earn it. Everything we do, we're going to work for it, and just shows how we're built to, go against the odds. We're built to prove people wrong. And I think it's just a cool, just environment culture that I'm going to be a part of. And it's kind of been, that's the cool thing about Boise State. It's not just a team, it's the whole city, the whole fan base. Everyone's involved in it. And it's just so cool to see. And I'm so excited to be a part of it.
Well, we're excited to watch you on that blue, Zeke. I appreciate you sitting down with me today, Zeke, and you have a great day. And as always, go Broncos.
Yes, sir, Coach. I appreciate you having me out here.
Absolutely.